All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about building a bridge, a really important one. We're talking about connecting the high-level world of business strategy, the stuff that happens in SAP, directly to the nuts, bolts, and sensors on the actual factory floor. This, my friends, is where digital transformation gets real. But first, let's start with a question that I'm sure keeps a lot of manufacturing leaders up at night. Why is it that the perfectly crafted production plan, the one that looks so beautiful and clean in the ERP system, seems to just completely fall apart the second it hits the reality of the shop floor? Well, the reason is actually pretty simple. It all boils down to one core problem: a massive disconnect. You've got two different worlds that just aren't speaking the same language. On one side, you have information technology, or IT. That's where the business plans live. And on the other, you have operational technology, OT. That's where things physically get made. And that gap between them creates this huge information chasm. Now, thankfully, we're not flying blind here. We actually have a map for this territory. There's a global standard called ISA 95, and you can think of it as a kind of universal translator, a Rosetta Stone for manufacturing, that gives us a solid, logical framework to finally connect these two worlds. And this table here lays that map out perfectly. So, look at the top, level 4. That's your big picture stuff, your ERP system like SAP S/4HANA. Then you go all the way down to the bottom, level 0 and 1, and that's the physical world. We're talking sensors, machines, the things that are actually doing the work. The real challenge, and frankly the huge opportunity, is bridging that gap right in the middle, especially between level 4, the business plan, and level 3, the world of manufacturing execution systems, or MES. For a long, long time, there was one main tool for bridging that gap in the SAP universe. A really trusty translator, you could say. But that era, it's officially coming to a close. And that translator's name was SAP MII. It was the absolute workhorse, the essential piece of middleware. Think of it as the connective tissue that would grab production orders from the ERP and translate them into a language the factory's MES could actually understand. For so many companies, MII was the absolute heart of their operations. Okay, and this is why we're talking about this right now, because the clock is officially ticking. And I mean, it's ticking loudly. The final version of MIS is already out. The big deadline is the end of 2027. That's when mainstream maintenance stops. So this isn't some far off, we'll deal with it later problem. This is a huge strategic decision that needs to be on your radar today. So if MII is on its way out, what's taking its place? Well, as that era ends, a whole new generation of tech is stepping up, and it's way more powerful. We're talking about the cloud, we're talking about direct connections, and we're talking about this incredible concept called the digital thread. And this comparison just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you have the old world, MII. It's on-premise, it's middleware, and it needs a ton of custom logic to work. Now look to the right. That's SAP's new strategic direction, SAP Digital Manufacturing. It's a whole different beast. It's cloud native, it's a full-on MES and analytics platform, and it's got AI and edge computing baked right in. We've gone from a simple translator to an entire intelligent operations platform. But here's a really important point. This isn't just about replacing one SAP tool with another. Not at all. The whole market is just exploding with these amazing best-of-breed MES solutions. Think Siemens Ops Center, Critical Manufacturing, and now they can integrate directly with SAP S/4HANA, usually through modern APIs. It's creating a much more open, flexible, plug-and-play kind of ecosystem. And all this modern integration, it's what makes the digital thread possible. And this is a game changer. Imagine a seamless, unbroken flow of data. It starts with how the product was designed by engineering, connects to how it was planned for production in SAP, and follows it all the way to how it was actually built and tracked on the factory floor. It's the holy grail, right? A single source of truth from start to finish. Okay, the tech is amazing, it's exciting, but we need to have a serious talk about the reality of making this happen. Because, let's be honest, the biggest hurdles, the reasons these big projects really fail, they almost never have to do with the software itself. Check this out. A study from Horvath found that a whopping 65% of leaders fail to hit their initial quality goals when they take on these kinds of projects. 65%. So what's going on? Well, a survey from ASU gives us a huge clue. 58% of S/4HANA projects get delayed. And the specific reason? Bad data quality. Garbage in, garbage out, right? But this next one? This is the real kicker. Data from the ProSci Institute shows that up to 75% of all project failures aren't about the tech, they're not even about the data. They fail because of a lack of change management. So the message here is crystal clear. You can have the slickest, most expensive software on the planet, but it will not save you if your legacy data is a disaster and your people are resisting the change. It always comes down to two things: your data and your people. Okay, those numbers are pretty sobering. I get it. But here's the good news. There is a proven playbook for success. The companies that knock this out of the park, they pretty much all follow the same blueprint. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's look at a real-world example. BMW Group. They had this massive, super successful S/4HANA rollout across their plants. And when they were asked what the key was, their answer was simple. Our pilot plant approach was the key to success. So let's lay out this winner's playbook. Step 1, pilot first. Do what BMW did. Test everything out, learn the lessons, work out the kinks in a single plant before you even think about a global rollout. Step 2, fit to standard. This is what Kawasaki Heavy Industries nailed. You adapt your business processes to the software's best practices. You don't try to twist the software into knots with a million customizations. Step 3, master your data. I can't say this enough. Prioritize cleaning and governing your data before you migrate a single byte. And finally, number 4, lead the change. You have to invest in organizational change management right from day one. It can't be an afterthought. All right, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Here's the thing. Your digital factory is being built right now. It's being built with every single decision you make and every decision you don't make. So the real question you need to ask yourself is, who's holding the pencil? Who is actually drawing your blueprint?